having autonomous vehicle lanes and having Kiwi bots rolling down the street and delivering food and making us a mobile example for the world. It's been really inspiring to our kids to see different people come in with their startups and to know that this is a possibility in the future that they can have as well.
The connectivity of the residents in their neighborhood and the stakeholders, everyone has an input in how we're going to move forward.
They came into the conversation with a heightened sensitivity, finding the way to properly connect and integrate into the neighborhood without overwhelming it.
They're building it with the community. They're hiring a lot of people locally, and they're growing the city along with what they're doing.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you all so much. Well, welcome. And I mean, isn't this amazing? This is so cool. You know, 3 years ago, I said that I was sick and tired of driving by this building all the time and having this be the poster child for the decay of Detroit. And I wanted to do something about that. And we're now I think, very much in the process of turning this from a national punchline into a national treasure. And 29,000 tiles up there have either all been either replaced or cleaned. And that's just what you can see. The restoration, the men and women that have been doing the restoration on this project are amazing. So thank you to every one of you who've done this. Thank you. When this is open, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a gathering place for the community. It's going to be Southwest and Corktown residents are going to come here, have fun, meet friends, hang out. It's also going to be a great place to work, I think, in a post-COVID environment. We've all been reading about the war for talent that's out there. Well, who wouldn't want to work in a place like this? You know, that's when we began this, of course, it was pre-COVID. We had no idea what the COVID world was going to bring on us. But even back then, we knew that if we're going to attract the best and the brightest to our company and to our city, we needed to provide them a place that was inspiring. And I think when this is finished, you'll find that this is going to be incredibly inspiring. It's going to be a fun place. It's going to be a nationally known place. And it's going to be a place where I hope all of you just want to come and bring your friends and family and hang out. I also said, though, 3 years ago, that I didn't want this just to be a trip down memory lane. If all of this was just going to be a wonderful restoration, that would be really great. That would be very cool, but it wouldn't be enough. Because our industry was really, back then, in the very early days of reinventing itself. Things like autonomous driving, connected vehicles, charging, all these things now that we're still working on and still very early days on, needed experimentation and they needed development. And, you know, and I mentioned back then the corridor that really existed between here and Ann Arbor and all the different kind of driving systems that that you would encounter along the way. But really, starting very locally, you know, we're already doing things like robots delivering food. We just, as many of you know, been approved for an inductive charging street, which means as you drive along the street, your vehicle will actually get charged. So this district is starting to come to life, and it's really cool. But the other thing I said 3 years ago was this: we couldn't do it alone. This was not going to be a Ford campus. This was going to be a campus where entrepreneurs, big and small, would come here and really help develop the future. And it's happening. So next door is what we currently call the Book Depository building. It's a beautiful building. It's an old Albert Kahn building. And we're so fortunate that New Lab, which is one of the great incubators, there's nothing like New Lab anywhere. New Lab has a lot of cities, they're in Brooklyn, they have a lot of cities begging them to come. They took one look at the opportunity here. They came, and of course with them now are a number of startups. They've identified, I think, 7 pilot programs already that they're going to be developing at next door, which actually opens before this building does. So that'll be up and running, then this building, and this whole district's really going to come to life. So I'm so happy that we have partners like that. But then when you can get a partner like Google, it's a game changer. And you'll be hearing more from Ruth in a minute, and her vision is fantastic. But what they're doing is they're coming down here, they're going to participate in developing the future as well. And of course, you know, with their cloud capability, they can do so much to help all of us develop everything I've been talking about. And I don't want to steal Ruth's thunder, so I won't go into it, but what they're going to be doing with our high school students here is absolutely amazing. So not only are they coming down here to develop the business, they're coming down here to develop our city and our children. And I think it's amazing. So Ruth, I know you're going to speak, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but thank you so much. And so this is the ultimate public-private partnership. And we're so fortunate to have the leaders in our city and our state that understand this vision, and not only do they understand it, they're all in on it. So my friend Mike Duggan, who I've known for many, many years, from the minute he heard about this, he said, "What do you need? What can we do to make this happen?" And he's been true to his word. I knew that about Mike anyway, because as I say, we've worked together for a long time. But he's been fantastic, and we couldn't ask for a better partnership with the mayor's office. And our governor, from the minute she saw this, she was all in. And the state has been also fantastic in both, you know, in workforce development, in infrastructure, and also helping us realize the vision for the kind of future that this kind of development can have. So, Governor Whitmer, thank you so much for everything you've done for us too. So with that, I will get off stage, and I just simply want to say thank you all for coming and for being interested in what we're doing here, and I can't wait to welcome you all back and have some fun with you all here, because it's going to be great. And with that, I'd love to invite up our governor, Gretchen Whitmer. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Sure. Well, thank you, Bill. Your vision coming to life, it's so exciting to be here. And this partnership is really so critical as we think about how we are moving forward, and how we're moving forward in a way that is equitable and creates opportunity for everyone and makes Michigan a leader. And so I'm always glad to be here with Bill Ford and Mayor Duggan. I'm so grateful that the county exec is here. There's something good happening in Wayne County. You can bet Warren Evans is involved. And obviously, Ruth, the Google partnership is critical, and we're so excited about what is going to be taking place in this building. Since the turn of the 20th century, Michigan put the world on wheels, and we assembled the arsenal of democracy to win World War II. And we built the middle class. Today, we're laying the groundwork to shape the next century of transportation solutions while reducing emissions and accelerating electrification. Now, one of the major players to partner with Michigan on this journey, obviously, is Ford Motor Company, an American and Michigan icon. Michigan and Ford have a long, proud relationships, one that has played a critical role in earning us bona fides as the home of the Motor City. After all, it was Ford's Paquette Avenue plant just down the road where the first Model T rolled off the assembly line. It was a seismic shift heard around the world, an affordable, accessible automobile for working families everywhere. Since then, Ford has continued to be on the cutting edge of mobility. Today, Ford and now Michigan Central are growing their commitment right here in the great city of Detroit. They're putting down roots in Michigan's Central Innovation District, building on efforts to revitalize the historic train station and bringing the future of mobility to life here in Detroit. This new district will significantly impact the way that people move, the way that goods and services move over the decades to come. And it'll create tremendous opportunities for Southeast Michigan families, and Michigan Central commits to creating at least another 2,500 high-tech non-Ford jobs in the district, in addition to housing another 2,500 Ford workers on this campus. So to support the Innovation District, the state of Michigan is collaborating with the city of Detroit and Michigan Central to write the playbook for a new type of partnership that keeps us at the forefront of mobility for generations. As a part of our partnership, we're embracing collaboration to align more than $126 million in new and existing investments, programming, and resources to support the goal of the district. I'm grateful for the partnership and collaboration of my cabinet members who have joined us today: Liesl Clark from Eagle, Paul Ajaba from MDOT, Susan Corbin from Leo, Josh Hunt from the MEDC, and I'm grateful that our Chief Mobility Officer, Trevor Paul, for his leadership in helping get this over the finish line. When we created the Office of Future Mobility and Electrification in 2020, it was to make these kinds of investments and partnerships possible. So as a part of today's announcement, we're creating a first-of-its-kind opportunity here in Corktown by helping drive new venture capital investments and attract large global corporates to see the possibilities that are waiting for them in the great state of Michigan. Already we have Google signing as a founding partner for the district. Thank you, Ruth. And as one of the largest, most influential tech companies in the world, Google is signaling that Michigan is a high-tech innovation hub where companies should consider coming. By working together on Michigan's Central Innovation District, we can attract and retain global high-tech talent. We want them to choose to live, work, and innovate right here in the city of Detroit. And we want them to raise families and start businesses. And we want more Michiganders. Along the way, we're bringing the community with us, setting new standards for housing and affordable transportation. We must work together to put Michiganders first and deliver on the kitchen table issues that mean most to our families, friends, and neighbors. And together, this is another sign that we are moving forward in a way that shows Michigan is in it to win, that we are going to lead in the mobility sector, that we are serious about developing high-tech and high-skilled jobs, and our future is bright. So congratulations to everyone who made today possible and all the future partners that will help us continue to move forward together. And with that, I want to introduce my good friend, fierce champion for the city of Detroit, Mayor Mike Duggan.
Well, thank you, Governor. And there are a few days that really stand out when you're in a job like this. But this is a day I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I look at Bill Ford and the years just roll back. It was a little over 25 years ago. I was Deputy County Executive. Bill called me and he said, I want to take you to lunch. It was like the day before Thanksgiving. I said, what's so urgent? We went out to lunch and he said, I know you're working with the Illiches and Dennis Archer to build a baseball stadium. He says, my father and I think Detroit has a bright future and we want to be a part of it. If you can get the Illiches to treat us fairly, we'll bring the Detroit Lions back to Detroit. Everybody was shocked when they first heard it. Mike Illich, of course, was a terrific partner, and we got it done. And the day we opened Ford Field, I said to Bill, you will never do more for the future of the city than what you did here today. Was I ever wrong? What is happening here is eclipses anything that we have seen. So about 4 years ago, I heard a rumor that Bill was looking at a big project. I called him up. I went out to Dearborn. I said, I hear you're thinking about doing something. You think you'd share it with me? And he said, he laid out a vision that was astonishing in its breadth. What he said to me then was, we are competing every day with Silicon Valley for the future of the auto industry. He says, I'm not interested in just competing. I want to win. I want Ford to leap ahead of everybody in the world in electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. I want to create a campus where we take our 2,500 best designers and engineers and put them in a completely different environment. He says, and then I want to have a surrounding area where it's not just Ford employees, that another 2,500 people who could be working for private companies, every inventor, every person with an idea. What if they all came together in one area and they worked together? We could make this the future of mobility. And I said, well, okay. He says, now, I think I need to be somewhere near a university. And we talked for a long time that day. I said, Bill, the people that you're trying to recruit, they want to live in an urban area. They want to be in Detroit. And I said, and I want you to think about one more thing. All these creative inventors in the future of mobility, they're going to need a place to deploy and test their ideas as they come out. You're going to need a city partner that understands this. And the great thing about talking to Bill Ford about history, you don't have to explain anything to him. The first mile of paved road in America was done by the city of Detroit in 1909. It was Woodward Avenue between 6 and 7 Mile, adjacent to the Model T plant that Henry Ford was building. The first four-way traffic light in America was here at the corner of Woodward and Fort Street. We figured out how to move this new invention in a way that was safe. Detroit has a history of working with the mobility industry and having city government support it. And I said, what if we committed to you that we would prioritize all of these inventions, figure out how to make them implemented in a safe and quick way? And so he said, let me think about that. About 6 months later, he called back, said, Mike, I got an idea. He says, if you can get the Maroons to treat me fairly, I want to come to the Michigan Central train station. And of course, the Maroons were good partners, but the idea of taking Detroit's symbol of decay and instantly turning it into a symbol of the future of mobility in this country was astonishing. And when Governor Whitmer stepped up in the extraordinary way that she did to support this innovation zone, we're now moving. And Bill came back and said, remember what you promised me. I'm going to bring in these inventors from all over the world. You promised me you would review them and get them in place first here. And so we have today announced an agreement, which we've signed, for a transportation innovation zone that says the city of Detroit has a team now of our lawyers, our engineers, our permitting folks, our roads folks. Every time an inventor has an idea in mobility, we are going to vet it and find the safest, most prompt way for them to tie it out. If you have an idea to change mobility in the world, this area right here on Michigan Avenue is where you can make your dreams come true. And that's the announcement today, that the state and Ford and the city have come together. And while the great majority of things can be done administratively, there are times when change is so significant, you need new zoning, you need new ordinance, you have a completely different paradigm. And unlike other places in the city of Detroit, we have a good working relationship between the mayor and the city council. We have great commitment, and I want you to meet my partner, somebody I know who believes in the future of this industry. Please welcome Council President Mary Sheffield.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, Governor Whitmer, and to all of our esteemed guests today. It is an honor to stand amongst you all in the heart and mecca of innovation. We are certainly excited about today's event in celebration of the new partnership that was just mentioned that will build community, drive innovation, and shape the future of mobility. This one-of-a-kind investment will add to the vibrancy and creativity that thrives in Detroit's oldest neighborhood, providing resources to help continue the innovative spirit of our community. As the mayor mentioned, as a city council, we are committed to making sure that we expedite in a safe way the approval process to allow entrepreneurs to get up and running for this project. I always think about what this means for Detroiters and our community. I know that this project will prioritize the needs of the community with sustainable amenities. We're talking about abundant green space, walking paths, bike trails, public art, grocery stores, affordable housing, all within a 20-minute walk, and I know that that is what Detroiters want. Detroit has long been at the forefront of every conversation when it comes to vision, excellence, and execution. We want to continue to share our advancement alongside this technology, and with projects like the Forward Mobility Michigan Central, I know that we can do that. And so we look forward to the jobs, the partnerships, and other equitable opportunities that this project will add to the continued success of this district. And we hope that it will continue to encourage the pioneering spirit of our community. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to this partnership.
And I have the honor to introduce somebody that Fortune magazine has called one of the 10 most powerful women in the world. She's legendary for having been in the hospital in labor and staying on the phone working to close a deal. This is one focused person. And Google has been a great partner for Detroit. They moved jobs into this city when we were struggling. And when their agency Waymo, the self-driving company, looked for a place to install their self-driving systems, they could have gone anywhere in America. And this Silicon Valley came to Detroit, and they're installing those systems right up the street off of 75. But as you look at all these jobs of the future coming to this neighborhood, the question becomes, how do we make sure Detroiters get a chance to fill those jobs? And you're about to hear from somebody who's got a vision. Please welcome a great leader, the CFO of Google and the Alphabet companies, Ruth Porat.
Thank you so much for that very, very kind introduction. It is fantastic to be here in this amazing space. Wonderful to be here and to celebrate such an important event today. Google is so proud to call Michigan our home. We've been here for many years. We have hundreds of Googlers across the state who thrive on being here, and we look forward to continuing to grow and invest. A huge thanks to Governor Whitmer and Mayor Duggan for making Michigan such an incredible place to invest, to grow, and to have a business. And a huge thanks to Bill Ford and to the Ford Motor Company for your vision in this incredible opportunity for our partnership with you and what we're doing today and what we can do together for many years to come. I'm absolutely thrilled to be back in Michigan. You know, it takes us to the point of today. At Google, we have felt for a long time that to have sustainable growth, you must have inclusive growth. And it's an extraordinary time to be alive looking at what is going on in this amazing state of Michigan. As we've already heard today, and as you all know well, Michigan was at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution. But the world is now going through a digital transformation. And there is an extraordinary, we think, opportunity and responsibility in this digital transformation to make sure that people have the skills that they need to have access to these extraordinary jobs of the future. And that's what we think this iconic place gives us the opportunity to do together, working public and private together, working across industry in a way that really prepares people for the jobs of the future and really takes us into the future. And at Google, we're focused on that in 3 ways. First, with digital skills training. Years ago, we created a program called Grow with Google, and it was about providing people with digital skills for the jobs of the future. And what we quickly realized was if we could create a certificate that was transportable to people across companies, we could open doors in high-growth tech jobs, tech industries for many. We now have 4 certificates: IT support, project management, user experience, data analytics. Anybody with no background in 3 to 6 months can go through the program, get the skills, get a certificate that opens their pathway for new jobs. And we've built a consortium of more than 150 companies, very much to the comments you've already heard. When we work together, we can really amplify impact. And so we have 150 companies in our consortium. I'm proud that Ford is a member of the consortium. Anyone who has a certificate can go and get a job in any one of these companies. That's number 1. Number 2, as you've already heard about, is we're really excited to be opening up this iconic place as a home for training high school students. So tragically, about 50% of high schools do not offer computer science training. And what we'll be doing here is providing computer science training skills for high school kids after school on weekends so that they too have access to what are these exciting new jobs of the future. And number 3, really building on Bill's comments about mobility. We view this as a home where we can leverage our Google Cloud, data analytics, and AI to really explore what are new opportunities for mobility. Where can we go? The state that started this will take us all into the future. And what we're excited about as we sit here today is looking at the opportunity, working public and private sector to make a difference in the lives of so many. And so I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to see what we can do together. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this with us. And we look forward to coming back year after year and showing the progress that we've made together. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ruth. That was so exciting to think about what this is going to mean for the community. And I just want to thank everybody again. Thank you for coming. I see so many friends in the audience. I know this has been a lot of work. Bill mentioned all of our workers here at the station who I know come in every day, and you're doing an amazing job. And you know, we do talk a lot, Bill and I talk a lot about the importance of public-private partnerships, and there's no better public-private partnership than the one we've announced today. And we're very excited and look forward to more progress with many of you. And so with that, I'd love for you to ask you to mingle around and meet some of our pilots who I'm sure are excited to tell you what they're doing, and we'll look forward to sharing more as our progress continues. Thank you so much.